Hello and welcome to another episode of the Groove Junction, episode 64, 64. Eyes down for a full house. That's what we're talking about here on the Groove Junction. Listen, guys, as always, thank you ever so much for tuning in, listening to us on all the major podcast providers. And for those of you who watch us, a big thank you as well for watching us on Spotify and YouTube. Now, the Groove Junction is kindly supported by our friends at Wolf Mix as well. So let's crack on with the show, okay? Great to be back again, episode 64. You know that I'm on my own at the moment for a little while, so I've got someone in to co-host with me and a guest as well. Great guy, lives in the southeast of England, down in Kent, the Garden of England in Kent. Please put your hands together for my co-host and guest this evening, Nick from 2K Entertainment.
Hey, there he is, the big JC. How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, pal. Listen, man, thanks for coming on the Groove Junction today.
I love it. I'm now part of an elite group, which I'm extremely proud of. So, yeah, absolutely loved it.
You know what? I'm not going to lie to you, Nick. You've been on the list for a while. You really have. And there's a number of other DJs that are on the list. And then it's just been one of those things where the Groove Junction's been going for like over a year now. There's so many DJs that have asked to come on or, you know, whatever. And it's a case of going through each person, what fits with their schedule. And we were lucky this week that, it fitted in. We're both available. So
I'm here. This is it. Yeah.
It's great to have you here. So, Nick, you are going to help me co-host the Groove Junction tonight.
I am indeed, yes.
We're going to go through the normal stuff. I know you're an avid listener to the Groove Junction, so you know what we're going to do. We're going to have
every time, every episode, yeah.
Love that. So you're all up to date then?
Pretty much. I think I'm maybe 2 behind. So, but yeah, I'm almost there. Been so
busy.
I
can't believe you're 2 behind, and I've got you on as a guest. You should be up to date, Nick. What's the matter with you?
I should be. Yeah, it should be. Right. So not bad me.
It's not a problem, Matt. Honestly. And the thing is with the Groove Junction, you know, we've done 64 episodes. You can go back and watch, you know, any of the episodes that we've done.
That's it.
So it's yeah, you know, if you can listen
available to it on all your podcast providers. So yeah, it's all there.
Mate, we got a new co-host in the making here. I'm telling you, I'm absolutely loving it. So now listen, you're going to co-host. So we're going to go through the normal stuff that we do go through.
Yes, we are.
And we are going to start off with the rundown, and the rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine.
The Groove Junction Rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine, the magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface-level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews? They feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code, GroovePMSUB, for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile Magazine. So, Nick, the rundown. So I'm going to ask you, Nick, what have you been up to gig-wise in the last week? What have you been up to? Tell us.
So the last week has been my standard normal week, both Friday, both Saturday, out all weekend. So I had a 60th on Friday, and then I had a wedding at a new venue for me, which is, so the pub that's around the corner from your house, it's literally the same distance. It's literally a stone's throw from my house, which is like 2 minutes in the car. So, and it's a really nice upcoming venue as well. So I was at a wedding there on Saturday, and that was just off the chart. It was great fun.
Wicked, love that. So just going back to your 60th, Nick. Do you find that when I do like 60th, 70th, that sort of thing, I say, "Oh, can you turn the music down? We just want to have a chat." Do you get that?
I have done in the past. This one was a bit different. The only thing that was awkward for me with this one is the birthday girl whose ticket was, she was probably the youngest in the room. So there was an element of a few other family members that are a bit older. So I wasn't expecting a great party or a lot of people to do much, as we often have these venues. You know, people just sit around on their tables each side of the room and kind of don't mingle. So it was a little bit like that. But it was a lot of 80s, some 70s. some soul and all that sort of stuff. So it actually went down really well. The client was happy, and that's kind of all we can ask for, really, at the end of the day. But yeah, no, it was a good laugh, and she's really happy.
Brilliant. That's all you need. The only time I ever see the people move at those sort of parties, it's not to get up on the dance floor. It's either to go to the bar and get another drink, or the buffet's open. That's kind of. But you've always got that one member of the family that will say to like one of the younger kids, "Go and get me something off the buffet table. Off you go. Off your popcorn."
There were no kids at this one. There were no kids. There were no couples younger. None at all. There was no like younger nieces and nephews as partners or anything like that. It was literally the birthday girl was the youngest person, and that was it. And there was just all her brothers and like work friends, colleagues and stuff, and they were all older, 60 plus. So it was quite unique, because usually you get little kids or you get younger couples or whatever, but not in this one. So but there you go. That's what it is.
And the new venue, is it a new venue or just a new venue to you for the wedding?
It's a new venue, both actually, because it used to be a glamping site, which they've now spent a lot of money on. A beautiful garden, side building, a marquee as well, and then I haven't been there, but I've known about it, but I just haven't actually managed to get a booking there yet. But it's a huge. It's literally behind someone's house, surrounded by a field, so you wouldn't even know it was there. But it's absolutely huge.
Lovely, love that.
Yeah,
love that.
Yeah, really great venue.
Good stuff. I mean, myself, I've had a busy week this week. The other week we was talking about Halloween coming up. Obviously, we're in October at the time of recording this. Halloween coming. So last week was like, and the last 2 weeks has literally been Halloween parties constant. And that was the same last week. So I had two school discos back to back at one school. They're all Halloween themed, all the inflatables out. But it's an infant school, so the music had to be low. Which is fine. It kind of like you lose a bit of the atmosphere, like with the party, because the music's not as loud. But then I've been going there for like 5 years, 3 discos a year. Whatever it is I'm doing okay.
You are the school disco master.
Yeah, I think. That's what they say. Yeah, so I did that.
How many times was K-pop Demon Hunters on your playlist? Then how many of those did you chuck out?
So I will be honest. That song I think it's called Golden. I only ever play the song once in a whole set.
Yeah,
don't matter.
Same.
I never play the same song twice, unless the bride and groom come up and say, "Can you play this?" I've already played it, but I wasn't
exactly
in the room.
Same, yeah.
I'll give it. You know what? It's your day. Yeah, okay, we'll play again. But other than that, no.
Yeah.
But this Demon Hunter thing is like off the scale. Everyone loves it. Now, have you seen that? There's a film. Apparently, there's a film.
There is. Have you seen it? I haven't, but I don't need to. The amount of time I'm playing the song, I kind of know the film from playing all the songs all the time. But
no, I haven't played it, so I haven't seen it. Sorry. Friday, where was I? Fridays did a silent disco.
Nice.
We was at St Albans Cathedral.
Beautiful.
It was a decades night. There was me. There was Just James and Matty. I was on the 80s, like 80s. Matty was on the 90s. No, Matty was on the 90s. Anyway, good. Yeah. It was good. It was good fun. One session. Sunday, what did I do Sunday? I think Sunday. Sunday.
Family time.
Yeah, family time. Took the boy into London. We walked around London all day. You know what, right? I love London, but 12.5 miles of walking. I think it's 12.5 miles.
That's a lot, man.
Shattered, man. Shattered. And yesterday morning, because it's half term.
30 steps in though, right?
Hell yeah, I did like 30,000 steps. And then Monday, I did a Halloween party for the local community hall down the road as well. So that was pretty good. Yeah, and this time of year, Halloween, all the inflatables are out.
I was going to ask you that. What's your new one for this year?
Well, see, I bought 4 new ones.
Oh my God.
4 new ones.
Oh.
Well, I bought one of them, Nick, right? I bought one of them. It's like an old sort of like old styley carriage with a horse and like a skeleton like riding. Like looked at the picture and I thought, yeah, that's okay. It's only about 6 foot. I kid you not, it's about 8 foot long and about 7 foot tall. It's massive. It really is. But I can't use it at every venue because it's that big, but it's good. It's good fun. And I've got one more Halloween. Well, I'll say one more Halloween. I've got 3 more Halloween events all on the same day on Halloween. So
Yeah.
and then I can pack them away for the year, so which is good. So, but right, so that is the rundown, as always, sponsored by the Pro Mobile magazine. Now, if you do want to get a discount on the Pro Mobile magazine, all you got to do when you go to the checkout on their website, just put in our code. They're very kindly giving us a promotional code. All you got to do is put in the code Groove PM Sub. You get 25% off 1 year subscription. There we go.
Great deal for newcomers.
Thank you, Pro Mobile. Now, Nick, we are going to get down to the bones of it, about you, all about you. We're going to find out a little bit about you, what you've been up to, where you're going, all that sort of thing. But we will do that straight after the break. Welcome back, Nick. Thanks for coming back.
I'm here. Ready for the questions. Let's do it.
Well, as you say, the questions. I mean, as you know, Nick, the Groove Junction is not scripted. There's no scripting. I've got a few little bullet points here just in case I forget my name and I forget who you are. But that's all I've got on my screen there. Literally, Nick, you say it's not scripted. We're just going to have a little chin wag, a little chit chat,
Yes,
chit chat and chuckles. I'll call it now.
Chit chat and chuckles. Yeah.
Chit chat and chuckles.
Better say that very carefully.
Yeah. Probably won't be able to say that very quickly after you've had a few to drink. You know.
No, definitely not.
So, Nick, let's. I mean, Nick, 2K Entertainment. You live on the southeast of England. You live in Kent. You're based in Kent.
Yes.
Where does your journey start with your mobile DJing and your love for it? Where did you start?
So let's go back to 1998, 1999. I was starting at a local college on a chef course, and I met a guy there, Mike, and he was already a bedroom DJ. And he was like, we formed a friendship at college and through the love of music. And it was, at the time, it was vinyl, and it was like trance music, like the Dave Pearce era, very early Tiesto, that sort of era, which we were into. He said he'd teach me. It never kind of transpired that way. Got all the equipment and all the records and that kind of stuff, and just kind of started from there. And then sort of roll forward a few years, I was hanging out with a group of DJs in the local club, and one of them got me a job operating all the lights and stuff like that. And then it just kind of worked my way up. But what was funny is at the time I was still playing vinyl, but only like underground house music. And this was a commercial club. So I think in the first week with my paycheck, I must have bought every CD single that was in Woolworths at the time just to try and keep up. And I was raiding my mum and dad's Now CD albums and all that just to try and have a bit of commercial music to fit the venue. So that was a very early lesson straight away that I thought, oh yeah, house music on vinyl was brilliant. I hated R&B, didn't even understand UK garage or anything like that at the time. Yeah. And it just developed there like almost instantly. But that's kind of where it started for me.
You know, I know you saying that you know your first paycheck, you pretty much went and wiped out Woolworths and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
You go, you look at the high street now, and there is not. I mean, if you're lucky, you might find a HMV in where you live. Mm-hmm. We haven't got one in Chelmsford anymore. That closed down. Mm. You used to have Our Price. Used to have a proper Andy's Records, I think, was another one we used to have. Obviously the Woolworths. But you used to be able to go in and you used to be able to go and buy your CD singles every week. And I used to do it every week. I used to go and buy it. And I've got a loft full of CD singles because I went through a stage for many, many years collecting all the number one CD singles. Now, my cousin still does it today. He gets all the number one CD singles on, all the number ones, UK number ones, but on every format. And he still does it. I've kind of stopped all of that, but you mentioned the Now Music albums, and you get 40 tracks on a double album, and they're safe. They've taken all the swear words out and all that, so it's a nice, safe radio edit type of thing, which is a good way to start your music collection if you've got to go in, especially in with the commercial stuff. The underground stuff, like you said, you loved it. And that's one thing that I found with music. It doesn't matter what I like. I'm not a massive lover of drum and bass. Right?
No, you're not.
No, that is not my bag. But if my customer says to me, I want an hour's worth of drum and bass, no problem. And then I'll go and do a little bit of research and find out what's good and what's not. There,
you have to throw yourself into that if it's not your comfort zone, you have to, because you're being paid to do the job, so you have to accommodate that client for whatever they want, whether it be specific religious rituals or things that are in different countries, that they might want a bit of their own traditional music, like Polish or anything like that. You do your research on that, and it's the same sort of thing. You have to make that effort and go into it, even if you don't like it yourself. You have to go into it, don't you?
So you was into all your underground house and your heavy trancey music and all of that, and then you're in the DJ stand being the light tech, and then it's like, oh, hang on a minute, he's playing this, he's playing this, he's playing, I don't know this sort of music. Was it an easy transition for you to go from that and then sort of like get into the commercial stuff? Was it easy for you? Like, actually, this isn't too bad, because you had, was it? How did that sort?
It wasn't, because obviously with the house music and all the records and stuff, you would do the long mix, or you do a mix style of some sort. But when you came to radio edits, you didn't have the intro or an outro to kind of do anything with. So my first initial opinion was it was literally just almost pressing play, dropping the fader, and just to kind of start. Obviously, it was a big jump from mixing to non-mixing, so it was kind of like, well, how does this work? And it took me a little while to kind of transfer the skills from vinyl over to just the radio edit stuff. And now it's just obviously second nature. You can just mix anything and everything. But yeah, there was a time where you were like, okay, well, how does this work in a club? Because it's got to perform. It's got to keep people entertained. You've got to keep the vibe going. You've got to play all the stuff they want to hear. And it was a very quick, like, right, that's mixing, that's done. And it was just really kind of simple to do, but you had to really think about it in the week, between the weekends. You were thinking about, well, how is that working, and just kind of just researching and just playing with the music and having a go.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, when I started, I mean, they did have like 1210s in the DJ stand. And I was like, and I tried mixing vinyl, and I just could not get on with it. I just couldn't. So I started off with CDs and CDJs.
Yeah.
And they said to me, well, I can't understand why you can't do vinyl, because the CDJ is pretty much exactly the same, just without the needle. And they're right, but I couldn't take to it, and I still can't. I probably could now if I was to put my mind to it. I could probably do vinyl. So Nick, tell me, so after doing your light jockeying and then wiping out Woolworths and all your record stores, where did you go from? Where did you go from the club? Did you stay in the club? Was you then the club DJ? What happened next?
Yeah, so I bounced around for quite a few years, 12, 15 years as a club DJ. Did the odd like private mobile stuff, family parties, and then somebody said, oh, would you mind doing it? A friend of a friend, that sort of thing. I guess like kind of most of us kind of ended up doing it, but I definitely did the clubs for a long time. And then it was probably only actually about maybe 4 or 5 years ago that the mobile stuff really kind of kicked off. I was working in a boarding school at the time, and I was due to leave that in the June, and kind of like 2 weeks beforehand, I got inundated with like 25 bookings all of a sudden within the space of like 3 or 4 weeks. Before I was due to quit, and I was like, well, this is like an omen. Like, come on, let's grab this and kind of run with it. And I kind of haven't looked back since. So that was pre-COVID. And then obviously COVID hit, and obviously all that jazz happened. So, but as soon as obviously we were back, it was hit the ground running, and this is where we are today. Like,
so you was clubby, you was playing in nightclubs and that sort of like the mid noughties, sort of like 2005, 2006. Would that be a fair sort of time to say?
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, the clubs were busy then, weren't they? I mean, it was kind of like one out, one in, wasn't it?
And then obviously, so this was all before the smoking ban as well, and then obviously that came in, that changed things massively as well. But yeah, all the way up till probably I'd say 5 years ago, I was still doing clubs, as well as mobile stuff as well. So there'd be a few bars and stuff like that as well. I was in Zante in 2008 and did a season out there. And when I came back, it was again very different. A lot of the places locally where I was had closed or were on the verge of closing. So the scene had changed massively just in those sort of 7-8 months that I was there. And it was just a noticeable difference in sort of people going out to attitudes, and at the time money, there was no not sort of like we've got now, there was no cost of living crisis or anything, but you could feel like the atmosphere in the clubs, it was different. There wasn't sort of, because before it was like 99p drinks and like ladies' nights and all that sort of stuff. So it was, you could go out every single night of the week and live your life, and it was great. But now you just can't.
Yeah.
It's just not doable now.
No, so you're working in a boarding school, and then just prior to you leaving, you get inundated with a load of inquiries for mobile. Were you a mobile DJ before that happened, or was it they've just heard about you? How did that come about?
Yeah. So it literally, it was just, I just got enough bookings to think, well, hang on a minute, I need to kind of grab this and kind of do something with this. I the first kind of rigs I had were embarrassing. They're the guys you see in the social men's clubs, that have just got literally a table with a cloth on it, and it wasn't pretty at all. Because I didn't have the gear. Like I had my stuff at home to do the home stuff, and then I had plug and play stuff to do the clubs, but I didn't have speakers or lights or anything like that. So I had to acquire those very quickly. And then obviously through the years, you've learned about styling and cable management and how to make things look like a sellable product to your clients. So that's massively changed. But initially, yeah, it was literally just kind of, oh, would you mind doing this, and would you mind doing that, and do you think you can put something together? And then just kind of went from there.
I'll be honest. I mean, you've just reminded me of something. Matty and I were having a conversation a couple of 3 months ago, and we were talking about our DJ setups, and although ours are slightly similar but completely different at the same time, he said to me, he said, grab a picture from your photo album, grab a picture of your setup a year ago or 2 years ago. And I found a picture of my setup, and I'll be honest with you, at the time, I thought, you know what, that looks pretty smart. I'm happy with that. Right, I've got my lights, we've got me cloths and all that. Yeah, it looks nice. But then I look at my setup now, and I look at it and I think, you know what, now that looks good. Why was I going out with that 2 years ago? And it's funny. And I think that people think that they're not moving on, but in actual fact, one little change to your setup can make all the difference.
But it doesn't have to be a physical change. It could be a mental change as well. It could be something
I think you're right.
you've learned,
right.
or like something you've seen, or just a tiny tweak. And that's improvement with your own business all the time, any day of the week.
Absolutely. I mean, you're now into the mobile DJing. By the sounds of it, like you're doing okay. I'm guessing you're still okay. Are you still chefing?
Yeah.
You still chefing?
Still chefing. So I do like 5 days a week, mornings now. So I've cut it right back. So I only do part time in a local hotel, and then it gives me the weekends to fully focus on the business and marketing and social media and everything that comes with it.
Yeah, because I've seen you on your socials, and I've seen that, like, some of the venues that you go to. You do seem to be very busy. You're constantly out working, which is fantastic. I mean, Nick, I want to talk to you about your mobile DJ setup, and the reason I want to talk about it is because you've come from the club industry where you rocked up to the club. When you was on CDs, you took a couple of CD wallets and your headphones, and that was pretty much all you had to take.
Yeah,
the rest of the gear was all there. So now stepped into the mobile DJ arena, and you realise, like, hang on, I've got no speakers, I've got no lights. Where do I go from here? But now, obviously, over the period of like years that you've been mobile DJing, you've built your setup to what it is now, which is an impressive setup, to be fair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I do like it. So with the setup that you've got now and the fact that you are busy, if someone was coming into the industry now, pretty much blind and not really knowing anything about it, the mobile DJ industry, what kind of piece of advice would you give them?
So I would literally, I think it's something that might have been mentioned before, but just tag along with a local DJ, try and make friends with them, try and get to come out with gigs with them, be with someone that is currently in the game, doing it week in, week out. If you want to go down the club scene, make friends with people at the club. If you want to go down the mobile scene, again, find a mobile DJ. go to your local social club, tag them along with them, just kind of look over their shoulder and see, and reach out to people. I know I've had people reach out to me about stuff, about microphones and about booths and stuff like that are club DJs that want to get into it. And it's just like, just ask questions, and if the person you're asking is a decent enough person, they will help you. And obviously, anyone within our community that we've spoken about before will help anyone all day long. But
No, I mean, you're absolutely right. I mean, mate, one of the things that the Groove Junction was set up, Matty and I set this up for, was to be a learning platform for everyone, new and old. And what you're saying is right. Tag along and suck up as much of that information as they're throwing out. Suck it all up and then use it. I know Josh Ford was on last week, and he was saying that he went out with a top end wedding DJ. And he took a few bits out from what he liked and that, and then he went to just like a normal pub DJ, and he said there's a couple of bits, and then he's amalgamated the two together. And now he's got something, he's got something absolutely fantastic and great with it. So, Nick, I mean, your mobile stuff now. Did you have a residency anywhere or anything on that at all?
It wasn't what for the wedding stuff.
Yeah, for the wedding stuff or whatever.
All over. Yeah, all over the venues in my local area. There was a couple of venues I was kind of contracted for as well. That you used to regularly, they would call you up and be like, can you do this one, or they give you 3 or 4 dates in advance. But it was mainly pushing the 2K Entertainment about reaching out to people or noticing people looking for DJs, or you get recommended and stuff like that. So yeah, a bit of residency, but also a bit of kind of hunting for the work yourself.
Lovely. So, I mean, obviously you're a one man band. You're on your own. You're not a multi-op or anything like that, are you?
No.
So,
no.
Do you, you get an inquiry in, and you go through the process of the quote, accept the quote, the contract, sign the contract, blah, 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 blah. Do you then talk to your customer on a regular basis, or do you just like leave it to a week before their event and drop them a call or anything like that? How do you do your things with that?
I am a huge believer in building this relationship with your client first, partly because from the contracting work I've done, for example, I wouldn't meet the bride and groom until half an hour before the first dance.
Wow.
The venue, I know it's a real killer. I mean, I would get a form from the venue, like all the information filled in, first dance song and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know who these people are. They don't know who I am. How do they know I've got the credentials to give them the wedding they deserve without talking to you, without meeting you? So I'm a huge advocate for, I will go to clients' houses, I will meet them for coffee, I will give them as much access to me as they want between the initial inquiry and the event day. Because we've got social medias and they're a good advocate to tell our clients what we can do and the way we do them. But until you speak to someone and you kind of make a friend out of them and build that relationship is so important. I cannot stress that enough, particularly from my point of view, having that experience from those venues that don't allow you to meet. When I have my own gigs, I'm like, here's my number, ring me anytime, call me anytime. I will definitely do you a video call a week before the event, so that the information stays fresh. Because if you've got lots of events, you get confused with what first song's going with what.
Yeah,
exactly. So definitely. So if the wedding's on a Saturday, I'll video call them on the Monday or Tuesday, and we'll have a chat. But we're texting or WhatsApping or whatever all the time about stuff. So it's just so important to build that relationship nice and early with your clients. So when you turn up, they know when you walk in the room, that's my DJ. We had a laugh about this, and they'll remember those video chats or the messages you sent or the pictures you did, rather than walking into a room with your gear and it's kind of like, well, who's that guy with all the bags? There's that weird atmosphere.
Yeah, I must admit. I mean, I've helped someone out literally last minute with a wedding before in the past, and like you go to the venue, you go to the wedding, mate, and it's so easy to spot the bride. She's the one wearing the white dress, right? But then the groom, now that's a different story, because like the groomsman and the groom, they all kind of look the same.
Yeah.
I saw the front of house sort of said to me, oh, the groom's over there. I wasn't really looking where she was, so I went up to I went, hi there. I said, I'm John, the DJ. I said, are you the groom? And he's like, yeah. Oh, great, you're here, this, that, and the other. he wasn't. He was the best man. He was on a wind up. He weren't the groom. He weren't the groom at all. But it to me that kind of like that was like we're gonna have a laugh tonight.
Yeah.
Because they're that sort of crowd of people. So
Yeah.
you saying about keeping up the contact with them as well, and you ask the questions and this that, the other. And one thing I do say to my customers, especially brides, and I say to them, there's no such thing as a silly question, right? And we've been through this on the podcast before. I've had some of the most randomest of questions are you actually going to be there, or are you going to be there virtually? I'm like, really?
Wow,
I'll be there.
That's a new one.
There. Yeah, I mean,
this is it on the wedding I had on Saturday. On the Friday when I was at the 60th, I messaged the bride for the Saturday and said, "Hey guys, hope you have a really good day tomorrow. I wish you all the best. Hope it's brilliant. Have a great day." And she responded with, "Hey, you are still DJing for us, aren't you?"
And
I was like, yeah, I'm just kind of wishing you all the best for the day. Yeah. There was no kind of like, I don't know how she thought I wasn't going to be there, but yeah, it was just a weird interaction.
I think
but had I not met them and spoke to them, had I not built that relationship with them and kind of had a laugh with them initially, that could have gone very differently, that conversation. But because I'd spent the time doing it all worked out fine.
I think with weddings, especially weddings, I mean, it's such there's a long time in the planning and the processing, and then you get to the day, and then obviously, they've got this fairy tale wedding in their mind, how they want it to go, and then something like they're not expecting you to give them a text message, say, "I hope everything goes all right, so I have a great day." Panic sets in. It's like, oh my God, we haven't got no evening entertainment.
I'm finding that more and more as well, that actually that they just either book a package with a venue and the DJ is not even mentioned. It's just like, we will provide you a DJ. And that's another reason why I do it, because it's like, I'm not just like a bit of description on the package. I'm a person. I'm responsible for one of, if not the most important part of your evening, of your event. You need to know who I am, what I can do, that I'm the real deal. I'm not DJ Dave from down the pub. I'm right. A proper person that does what you want and that you can see from my socials. So I always say to them, look, here's my socials, have a look. This is evidence of what I can do and what you're paying for, what you're getting. And that's hugely important as well.
So Nick, I just want to touch on what you just said there. This is what you're getting, and this is what you're paying for. This is what you're getting. I want to touch on that. I mean, do you do add-ons? Do you do like bolt-ons, or do you do like different packages with your weddings, or what do you do?
So I have a photo pod that I have myself, that I built myself, and I've also formed a couple of relationships with some sax players as well, which are going to be added to the packages soon as well. Player. Yeah, I've got a couple of great ones. So those I try not to go too much into it, because the way I look at it is, I'm selling a dance floor. I'm selling a vibe. I'm selling a good time. If you want extras, I can source them, or most venues do them now anyway. Most venues do their own uplights or their own magic mirror or whatever it is, but I offer them for myself. But I'm selling a dance floor. I'm selling music that you want to listen to and have a great time with your friends and family. Okay. Those extras aren't necessarily so important to me, because they don't affect the dance floor. They don't affect the middle of the dance floor or the music I'm playing. But it's something that I would be willing to source or find out for my clients if they so wanted it.
So you've got your own selfie pod that you made yourself. Do you?
Yeah.
Is that an add-on? So if a bride and groom say, like, we got you as a DJ, that's down, that's good, that's no problem. Oh, we've seen that you do a selfie pod. How much is that? Is that included in the price? Is it an add-on? How do you do that? Do you sell it as an add-on?
So previously it was an additional cost, but I've now changed my way of thinking to be like, now I'm going to up all my packages a certain amount to include these extras anyway, because it's been something I've had on my mind a little while. Like, yes, you can, because I'm not a great salesman, so I kind of get a bit shy about trying to upsell someone something they might not want. So I came up with the idea of like, well, I will up my package by this amount, include the letters or the uplighters or the photopod. Anyway, my packages are going out and I'm going out and earning that little bit more. Anyway, like as a standard throughout every booking, rather than kind of have to fight for those upselling little bits, and the client's getting those bits anyway, that would probably just be sat in the garage. So I'd rather, understand. And I mean, I think that's kind of a different way to look at this whole system. I know a lot of people do have extras and they sell extras and they do very well from selling extras and making more money. But my opinion from the way I work is I just think I would rather put them out every time for the client for just that little bit more as a whole.
I can see what you're saying there. I can see what you're saying with the, I'm gonna chuck you the letters. You're gonna have the selfie pod. This is my fee, right? You're gonna get all of that, whether you want it or not. That is my fee. That is it. If you want to go with me, that's what you're gonna get. Rather than the DJ, this is what you're paying for the DJ. But however, if you want this, and this, right? It's all extra. It's a bit like when you go on holiday, right? You see the holiday is £1,000. Great, I'll have that. Hang on a minute. I've got to add the baggage on. I've got to add the transfers on. I've got to add me spending money. Before you know, blah, blah, blah. If they just turn around to me and said, right, your holiday's £2,000, I go, yeah, I can afford that. Thank you very much. There we go. So I can see what you're saying, including all of that. You haven't got the stress of trying to, put the sales pitch into them and say to them, look, I can do this, I can do that, and this will look good, this will look good. And if you're not a good salesman, like you said, you're not confident on it,
No,
then that makes perfect sense to add that in. This is what you get, boss. That is what you get. If you don't want it, you don't have to have it, but the price isn't going to change. That's it.
I mean, obviously, if they made a point of saying, well, we really don't want that, then that becomes a personal conversation and you readjust the price, but you're still happy to go out for that. And I would do everything for my client to kind of get that work and keep them happy.
I wouldn't.
You're not?
No. If I had a package say, right, for £1,000 you get this, and this, and they go, oh, no, I don't want that. So, well, I'll take it out, but it's not going to adjust the price.
See, I mean, that's what I love about the industry. Everyone has a different opinion for what works for them. And why it works for them, and it's just so fascinating to talk on any subject with anyone, and everyone's got a different opinion, and there's no right or wrong. It's just kind of what you feel, isn't it?
I'm probably well wrong, and I'm probably going to get slated for saying that. But at the end of the day, I'm selling a package. This is what you get in the package. There is no other package. It is that. You know what you're getting. If you know, I'll put it out, and if it doesn't get used, it doesn't get used. Or for whatever. So, it's kind of another subject. I'm going to go slated in the comments like, oh, you're robbing people or whatever. But it is what it is, and it is hard to upsell to people because, yes, everyone listening, most people listening to this podcast, yes, they know what a selfie pod is. They know what an uplighter is. They know what a haze machine is or a projector is. They know what they are. To Mary and James down the road are getting married next week. They've got no idea.
No idea at all.
Absolutely no idea. So you need to try and sell that, which means you've got to know about the product. You've got to sell it. We know about the product, otherwise we wouldn't have bought it. But you've got to try and sell it to them, without being pushy. I hate pushy salespeople.
Well, which is my fear. Like, I don't want to force something upon them that they may not even want. So this is kind of how I kind of got around it.
No, I get that. So Nick, I mean, we've spoken a little bit about where it all started, so like back in your college days and in the kitchens and all of that, into the clubs, into the mobile stuff. Where do you see yourself in, say, like a year's time? Where do you see yourself? Do you see your company growing, maybe multi-opping? Do you you think like, I've had enough of DJing, I'm going to wind it down, or where's your head at with that?
I can answer that straight away. I'd never stop doing it. Not until I can't walk or can't hear or can't see. I'll be doing it for as long as physically possible. In terms of the business, I think I want it to grow that bit more. I'd like to reach out to further afield, different counties, even other countries, and just kind of my goal was just to kind of be part of someone's special day, or provide that entertainment that they need for whatever event it is, like you said, schools or colleges or corporate stuff, and just have little things and all those little pies and just provide the entertainment for those things. And that's just what keeps me going. So if in a year's time I'm still doing weddings and parties, brilliant. If I'm doing corporates, amazing. I'm just want to keep going at the pace I'm going.
Love that. So one last question, Nick, before we go into another break.
Okay, mate.
Is there anything on the market that you see, whether it be speakers, lighting, controllers, or anything? Is there anything on the market that you kind of got your eye on, but thinking, I can't tell the wife, but I really want that?
I can't tell it anything financially, to be honest, because I think I'd be in the doghouse. But no, to be honest, I'm more about researching and looking at what's out there. The kit that I have works for me. I'm not one of these kind of equipment hoarders or anything, because I'm limited with storage and with the vehicle space. My kit is reduced to 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out, job done. It's like minimum cost but maximum effect. So I've got the lights, got the moving heads, got the pulse tubes and things, which I think gives a great wash effect. And the kit's very basic, which I've actually reduced since the last time I spoke to you about kit. It's actually been reduced a lot down now. And like I said, purely because of storage and transport reasons. But I love looking at what's coming out, like all the new controllers and all the new technologies, like planning beats coming out and all the CRMs and everything like that. I love just researching and being involved in the conversations about what people are thinking about buying and where the industry is going to go. AI or people using chat GBTs and stuff like that to help with their websites, and just anything to do with that, with the equipment and people come up with and want to use within their businesses. That's what I love reading about. And then anything that I think would improve my setup, and
Yeah.
I'll happily be involved in that too.
You talking about your your minimal equipment. It reminds me of the first time we met face to face up in Solihull at the
Yes, it
BPM event.
Yeah.
And we made our way round to the Hercules stand, and they had this little, and I don't know what it's called. I know you've got it, so you'll tell me what it's called. That little controller that's literally about a foot long. What's it called?
Starlight.
Now I've seen some of your social media. You use that. You use it quite a lot, don't you?
I do. I haven't used it for what purpose it was intended, as in an emergency backup controller in case everything dies. But I think, do you know, it was Matty that actually started that off for me, because he bought his AZ to get better, to improve, to do all this sort of stuff. And I've got my my DDJ SR2 as my main controller. And I thought, do you know what? I've got this kit. I bought it as an emergency. It's really cheap, but there's no harm in just doing some stuff with it and showing people out there. One of the particular videos was you could do anything to create a vibe on any equipment. And it was just kind of just using that and proving the point that you don't have to have fancy gear. You can do a night on whatever you like, to be honest. But it is a great piece of kit. And, I know I had conversation where people have laughed about it, and not at me, but at the equipment, because it's so tiny and small, but it does the job. And it's crazy.
And it's funny because I know that there's a big thing about James Hype. Obviously, James Hype loves he's got, but he did a video and a set. He did a mini set on the Pioneer Flex 4, FLX4, and
I saw that.
Yeah, and it's just like, so it just goes to show, even like these top end DJs, James Hype and all that, they can still do what they do on the main stage. They can still do them on some of that's only like 100, 300 quid. I don't know how much a Flex 4 is now, but and I think that is one of the important things for people coming into this industry, and they see the likes of James Hype and Calvin Harris and this and the other doing all their DJing and this, that, and the other. They don't need to spend $3,500 on a controller when you just, you can get a £200 controller and it can do exactly the same thing. And then as you progress and you learn and you soak up the information being passed out from other DJs and all of that, then get a bit of money behind you, then upgrades up to the next one and gradually do it. I think that's one of the things that. One of the dangers, I think it's kind of, I think I'm going to call it one of the dangers of social media, YouTube, TikTok, all of that, where I've been DJing for 1 year and I've spent 25 grand on equipment. Don't get me wrong, I'm loving what I'm doing, but I am still 25 grand in debt.
Yeah, there's this emphasis that you can jump straight in on big gear and be able to use it. And to be honest, I'd probably be lost on the 3000s, to be honest with you, or the AM9 or whatever. I'd probably be lost on it without a little bit of practice. But yeah, so the Starlight was like 60 quid. You know, it was really cheap, really basic. One of my students has got an FLX2 that he uses, and that's only about £100. And he's flying on that. So it really doesn't matter what you spend as long as you're comfortable with that equipment. You know, and you understand it. And if you're going down the software route, you've got some software lessons behind you, or someone that can help you, you know, with that sort of things. There is so much wealth of equipment, no matter what point you are at in your learning career, or what point you are in your professional career. If you want to go backwards and make it easy for yourself, you can do that. If you want to go an upgrade and go all out, you can do that as well. And it's just so versatile, and all the companies make something for everybody.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Now, Nick, this podcast is flying by. I'm so enjoying it. Listen, Nick, we're gonna close out the show in just a couple of minutes time. I am just gonna go to the little boys' room. I will see you straight after the break.
Sure, do it.
Welcome back, Nick. Thanks again. Second time coming back. I kind of weren't expecting you to come back. I thought you'd think, "No, mate, that's it. I'm done."
I am stuck in this seat now till next episode, so you ain't getting rid of me that easy. Yeah.
Well, you got 2 episodes to. You got 2 episodes to listen back to. So
yeah,
I
have.
Nick, before we close the show out today, I had an email in the week from We DJ, and I know was it last year or the year before? I think it was the year before. We had the Photo Booth Expo in London, which was on the ground floor, which our friends at Pro Mobile magazine, they were sort of dealing with all of that. And then upstairs we had We DJ, which was something completely separate, but it was also completely free as well.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I know we went on I went the Sunday and the Monday last time. I think you went the Sunday and Monday as well, didn't you?
I did, yeah. Yeah, Sunday, Monday.
So the Sunday was manic up there. It was so
ridiculous.
I mean, you had the likes of Getting the Mix were there, FBT were there, Equinox were there, Pioneer were there, Denim were there. There was UDG was there. There was loads of people there, and I think that's where they showcased the Pioneer AZ actually, because
it was because they had the Groove 6 as well.
That's right.
And the AZ, and then they were still pumping out the Duo, the Omnis Duo, and the Opus Squad as well.
That's right.
By that point,
and that was all up there. And so I got an email to say that it is going on again. We DJ have got an event going on again. It is totally free. It is on the 8th and the 9th of November. The doors open at 10 a.m. till 10 till 6. It is being held at Leek Street in London, which is literally a spit away from Waterloo.
It is.
What you need to do is get onto the We DJ website, click on the link, and it will take you to, I believe it's Skiddle. Let me just check. I believe it's Skiddle, and you can get your tickets. Now, the tickets are free. It's free entry in there. My advice, if you go in there, be prepared. It's going to be busy because it's a free event.
Always a busy one, for the free events.
Take
it's great as well.
I was just about to say you beat me to that, but you're absolutely right. I mean, take your headphones, whether you've got in-ears or HD25, something like this. Take some headphones with you. Take a USB stick, because there is going to be tech there that you can have a look at and play with and try and all of that. So go down, have a little look. Get onto it is Skiddle. Go on Skiddle, get your free ticket, and it's the 8th and 9th of November from 10 till 6, Leek Street, London, just off of Waterloo. So if you get it, if anyone's going to it, I can't make it. I'm busy. But if anyone can make it and they want to drop us a little ditty and let us know how it went, that would be wicked. Well, I'm sure we'll see it all over social media.
Videos for that. Look forward to those videos, definitely.
Absolutely. Right, Nick, slowly but surely running out of time, my friend. Quickly tell us what you're up to this week.
So this weekend, I have got the weekend off. So obviously being Halloween, my eldest is going to a party, so I've got to be around to pick him up at 11 o'clock when he finishes his party on Friday. And my wife is away in London both days this weekend, so I am on daddy duty this weekend.
Love that.
But I will be going live at some point. So
Right, well, drop us a link and everything in your social. All Nick's social details are going to be underneath the comments here as well. We'll let you know where you can reach out to Nick, have a look at his socials on Instagram, TikTok, all that sort of stuff as well.
Thank you, guys.
For me, I've got Friday. I've got 3 Halloween discos back to back, all in the same venue, so that's quite lucky. I've only given myself 45 minutes to pack up, load the car, and get to another venue, which is, to be fair, is only 5 minutes down the road, but I then got to set that all up for a 13th birthday. And then I have a 70th birthday party on Saturday night, and then I've got Sunday off.
Whoop, whoop. Looking forward to
the
that.
Sunday.
I got a roast going there somewhere. Got a roast going on. A roast. Got a Sunday roast going on.
Come off it, mate. Yeah, lie. That's what
ask a silly question.
Toby Carvery's for that. That's why we do there. Love a Toby Carvery. But you're a chef, Nick. I might come round yours. If your wife's away, I might come round yours. You can do me a roast.
Invitation is there. I can do that for you.
I might actually gate crash now. I thought of a chef making me a roast dinner. Oh, mate.
All the trimmings, everything made fresh from scratch. Yeah.
It's very tempting. We'll talk off air.
Yeah.
Now, listen, guys, as always, thank you ever so much for tuning into the Groove Junction. This has been episode 64. Nick, 2K Entertainment, has been my co-host this afternoon. Absolutely amazing, Nick. Thank you ever so much for stepping in.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting.
I'm gonna get you back. I mean, I think we've still got so much to talk about. This episode has flown by. So we're going to get you back. But listen, guys, don't forget, every Friday, the Groove Junction drops a brand new episode on all your major podcast providers, including Spotify and YouTube. If you want to reach out to us about anything, whether it be equipment, mental health, anything you want, drop us a comment or PM me. All right, just let me know. Anything you say to us is confidential. It won't go anywhere or anything like that. It's a conversation between me and you, and that is all it is. Okay. Until the next time, Nick, thanks again for joining, my friend.
Take care, mate.
No problem. And to everybody out there watching and listening, until the next time, I wish you safe and I wish you well. Look after yourselves and look after each other. Be lucky.